Crystal, can you believe we're a year old?
No, well, time flies when you're having fun. So no, it's like we just started yesterday.
It is like we started yesterday. It's amazing. This year we visited a ton of places. Italy on more than one occasion. Scotland on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Ireland on more than one occasion. Japan twice. Disney World a couple times. New Orleans, our national parks, and more. And on today's celebration of getting to work with Crystal Hammond. That's what we're celebrating today, that I get to work with Crystal Hammond. We'll share our top 5 favorite moments.
I'm celebrating lessons. Working with Joe.
No, you're celebrating that you get to work with yourself. We're going to share our top 5 favorite moments and lessons from our first year stacking adventures.
And so much travel gear. You know, it's bad to have way too much travel gear. So that's why at the end of this episode and pretty much every episode, you'll hear our gear of the day pick. And they're picked by both us and our guests. I actually like when our guests brought us gear because it was always something super cool. So if you're looking for best in class gear that's been tested by us and our fellow adventurers and not some, thing you read, some kind of ads you read on Facebook, we want you to head to our Amazon page at stackingadventures.com/GOTD, and you'll help the show and you'll help yourself adventure better. And you save money because you bought the right equipment the first time around.
You ready to go? Say it.
Let's get this show on the road. Joe.
Ready for adventure? From vacation to staycation and from the mountains to the beach. This is the Stacking Adventures podcast.
Welcome to this special anniversary episode of the Stacking Adventures podcast, where we head around the world with you, our adventure community. Every adventure has a story. You have a story. We want to hear your story, and this is where we hear everyone's story. I'm Crystal Hammond.
And I'm Joe, Saul-Sehy. Say hi to see hi.
Say hi. My nickname in high school was the Sea Hag. Do you remember Popeye?
Oh. I remember Popeye. I don't know who the Sea Hag was.
The Sea Hag was one of the villains that they fought all the time. So Sea High, they turned it into Sea Hag.
Brutus. I remember Brutus.
So good. Well, like Crystal, we are a year old, and today we're going to go back in the time machine over the past year and remember some of the greatest hits that we had.
We do. It's like, picking your favorite child. They're all my favorites.
I couldn't do it.
Except for my mom. I'm the favorite. We all know that.
Duh. Of course. She said humbly.
Right.
We've had so many things. I don't know about you. I had a really hard time. At first, what we did while we were trying to do this, the initial assignment was that Crystal and I were going to pick our top 5 episodes. And we got partway through, and Crystal, you said, well, I'm going with themes with some of these.
Yeah, some are just singles. Yeah.
Why are we trying to pick an episode when I can't? I totally can. But I think I can pick 5 themes that I liked.
Okay. I'm back and forth. Some are themes, some are just the one-offers.
Okay. All right. So we ready to do this? I do like the fact there's 2 things, adventures. Number 1 is here's the rules of the road. Crystal and I have not shared with each other what's on our list. So we have no idea what's coming up. That's part of the fun. And then the second part is clearly we both interpreted the rules differently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For everything. Didn't they say there's always 3 versions of every story, like your version, their version, and what actually happened?
Yes.
That is true. I do believe that's true.
And it's funny how what happened over time, especially when you're adventuring, gets bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's incredible.
I want to point out these are not in any particular order because there is no top.
What?
I can't. Yours.
Oh, I clearly have a top one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They're all great for me.
Crystal, you're such a wimp.
I am.
You just, how can you just whip
I'm Switzerland. Yeah. Just stay in the middle.
Just get an opinion, Hammond.
Yeah, let's
get an
just
opinion and stick with it.
Let's just get along. Oh,
all right.
Can we all just get along? All right. So then
here
5.
we go. Well, yeah,
right?
Pick one from your list.
Okay, I got it.
Hit me.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to.
Ladies first.
Hit you. All right. Yeah. So this one.
She's had days.
Going back to, this is our birthday and we all have our, origin stories. Sometimes it's our villain origin stories, which some of us might be experiencing. But my one that made my list was the science behind stacking adventures. Why do we stack? It was our April Fool's episode when we had an expert come on and talk about
Dr. Nicole Melly.
Yes.
From Moreland Hills University.
And she went on and on. Like, if you thought Joe talked, Joe has a sister that can talk too. But we loved it because we wanted her to just go on and on and on about why do people stack. And then the favorite was, what was it? Don't stack the toddlers on grandpa.
Stacking toddlers and stacking elderly people is not as good as you would think it is.
It's frowned upon.
It's very frowned upon. They have tough balance. It's hard for them to get back up. So
that was
good.
Funny. And she said it with a straight face too. Like, I don't know how she did it.
The fact that she could do that. We've done some great over on Stacking Benjamins. We've done some fun stunts on April Fool's Day. I remember one year we had the amazing and funny Farnoosh Tarabi sit in for me, and she did the whole episode, Crystal, as if I never existed. That it was OG and Farnoosh, and they did the entire episode as if I was never around. We did another one where Tina and Karen, who are behind the scenes producers and amazing people that work with Stacking Benjamins for a long time, they just took over the episode. They're like, we can't trust the dudes. Time for the women who really run the show to do it. That was a funny year. Steve Stewart took over the show. Our engineer took over the show one year. But this was the funniest thing I think I've ever done. Adventures in Stacking.
Why?
The science.
Why do we
that's
stack?
Good. That made my honorable mention list.
Okay.
That was not my number 5. My number 5, and I'm sure this probably appears on yours too, which is a theme. I had to just go with themes.
Okay.
And this is, when we started this show a year ago, I thought, there's some cool stuff that can make your adventures better, like some cool gear. And you mentioned it. We have the gear of the day for that reason. So we knew there was some cool gear. Crystal, I never realized how much paying attention to deals, paying attention to point systems, paying attention to how you pack, how that just pays dividends. I was able to go, Cheryl and I both went to Greece with the carry-on size bag, because over the last year, I learned to pack so much better.
Wow. And
I think I brought one piece of clothing that I did not wear. I brought one. And all it was because I heard it would get windy. And there are times when in Greece, and we were going to be there for almost 2 weeks, that it would get cold. So I brought a sweater and I never wore it. But besides that, I wore every single thing that I brought. And it was so cool. Now, we didn't just have those, by the way. We did pack one big suitcase that we were going to have for tchotchkes, whatever we bought, whatever we brought home. And because we were staying for 2 weeks and we did have some things that we wanted to pick up for friends and family, we ended up with that. So on the way over, we made sure all of our clothing fit in the overhead bin one, but we packed most of it into the big one. And then we packed almost empty overhead bin ones, but then it was great. It was the lightest we've ever packed for a vacation that long. My friend Mike has been a student of this for a long time, and he now doesn't even pack that big suitcase anymore. He's gotten so down that he can get the tchotchkes into his overhead bin as well. So that was my number 5. And I especially want to do a shout out to Cindy Greenstein, who's the points mom, because when I switched over this year, the biggest thing I did this year though was switching over from Marriott points to Hyatt points.
Okay.
And I've already had more free nights at Hyatt handed to me than I would get in a single year with Marriott. It has just been, it has been incredible how fast you get free nights. And I know everybody told me that. I'm like, it can't be that much different. It is way, way, way different. The Hyatt program. The only problem with Hyatt is they don't have hotels everywhere you go.
Oh.
So that's my number 5.
Okay. Speaking of even that big suitcase, I got rid of the big super huge one because I'm like, all right, this is just enabling me to just bring a bunch of crap that I don't need. Like the super, super big one I don't have anymore, but that regular big one is the one that I do still have. Like it still doesn't fit in overhead, but I did keep that one.
Cheryl and I talked about that this year about it when we were packing for Greece. We're like, sometimes the constraint is a good thing because either it's going to fit in our luggage or it doesn't come home. Or if we really, 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 really want it, we will pay extra to have it shipped. And because I'm not as cheap as Crystal is, but I can be pretty damn frugal, I got to want it really bad to ship it home.
Okay. Yeah. See, I agree. I agree with you on that one.
And there's a couple pieces of art that we've done that with. And by the way, that is pretty fun when you've been home for 2 or 3 weeks or a month and all of a sudden this art shows up from wherever you went. It was pretty neat.
It's like my surprise, a gift.
It is.
On giving.
I know. What's your number 4?
Okay. So it's right along there. The points. Learned a lot about the points and like I would have never transferred points. I'm a point portal spender where I would normally just spend all my points in the portal. So now I know how to look. And this was from the 2 shows with both Lee Huffman and with the points mom, Cindy. And just those 2 things, because I was like, just pick one thing from that show that's like an easy lift for you. So for me, that was just look and see if the transfer is worth it, because it is. You think it's like this above your level of expertise, but no, just try to do one thing. And then once you master that one thing, just move on to a second thing. And next thing you know, you're the points pro now.
Yeah, I feel like there's I feel like there's levels of this, Crystal, that I think a seed that Lee planted that I keep on saying Cindy, that Cindy really nailed down for me was the first seed that Lee planted was do it. Get involved in the points programs as long as everybody knows what the Achilles heel is. Yeah. And if you can avoid that, the Achilles heel, for people that are like, no, I don't know the Achilles heel is that you will run up credit card debt. Do not run up debt.
No.
But if you can stay away from debt, these point programs can pay huge rewards. And some of the rewards aren't even monetary rewards. If you're a member at some of these hotel chains, you come in, they give you an extra bottle of water, or they give you a snack, or they have some other special amenities that you don't get. Maybe a drink at the happy hour if you alcoholic or non-alcoholic, whatever it might be. Like these point programs have really cool amenities that are neat if you can stay out of debt and, not do frivolous spending. And frankly, that's why they have the point programs, is that a lot of people do that. But
some hotels too, they have a special floor for the guests. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Lee was like, the water's warm, get in. But the other side of that too, that he kind of planted the seed on, and Cindy really nailed down for me, was the other problem. Once people get into the point program, you hear all these people, Crystal, talking about, well, you want to make sure the points are worth it. You want to make sure that blah, blah, blah. Well, this is free stuff. And while you want to maximize your free stuff, what maximizing and optimizing does that I've learned over time is by over maximizing, you hoard points. Yep. And the bad news about hoarding points is you end up not spending them and they devalue very quickly.
Right. Yeah. I forgot there was a term for that when the points get devalued over time, or because the program can change, who knows what's coming up in 2026. of these award programs. So don't give them a chance to devalue your points.
No, the better thing is what I've learned is if I have a credit card that will give me 2x, 3x, 5x points, and I've put little stickers on my cards for different things. So green is for gas card.
That's a good one.
Like I will have different. So I look at my wallet and I make sure that I'm getting multiple points for whatever I'm buying at that time. And you're already doubling up on the point. So if I'm doubling going in, I don't have to worry so much about making sure that, well, this flight deal is worth it and this flight deal is not worth it. Just spend the points.
You know it. All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4 theme is, and this one I knew going in, but I love hearing it from other people. This was true for me, but the fact that the world is smaller you think it is, then people are more alike than you think was a huge theme. I loved hearing from Kate and Kimberly as an example in their slow travel adventure as they started in Europe. They went to Italy, they went to Germany, they went to England. They were all over the place. I thought it was Portugal, right? I really like
and Guatemala too.
Yeah. Then they went to South America and Central America, but hearing all these different places they went and how people have the same fears. You've got nice people all over the world. Of course, you have to be careful, but the world truly is smaller than you think. And I know if you haven't traveled that much, you're like, okay, that just sounds, it is even smaller. Like my mom is about to go to Europe for the first time in December, and my mom has been afraid to go anywhere outside the United States. And you already know, Crystal, you're smiling. My mom's going to go, why did I wait? What am I doing?
It's like, if I could just get you over there, it's totally going to change your mind. Like, you don't even notice you're on a long flight either. I think most people have the fear of the long flight. And it's like, there's so many movies you get to watch and time just flies, or even sleeping. And I'm a very strange middle seat person. So I probably pick the most uncomfortable seats in airplanes, and I do just fine. And I'm super tall. And
I think it's so weird because Crystal is not short.
Right.
Yeah. And as a tall guy, I don't like the middle seat. And Crystal's like, hand it over.
Yep. Excuse me.
Some shout outs to some adventures, and I apologize because we're going to miss some, but Cosette's journey to Japan, Ray talking about Japan. Amanda has been so many cool places. Anne's trip to Ireland are just a few that I'd love to point out. The people that called in about Peru, about their trips to Peru. We had so many examples of the world being a small place and people being more alike than you think.
And that's another good segue into my next one. Well, so we're at number 3.
Yeah.
And it's it's the listener stories, especially like the TravelCon episode when I went there and just said, hey, what's your favorite travel tip? But every time we hear from listeners, I love it. Like hearing your voices on our stackingadventures.com/my story page, where you guys call in and share your stories. And then we go back and forth like, totally wouldn't have thought of that. Or just the live feedback from hearing your stories. Like, I love that. And it's a preview to, our next trip where we see each other in person, because we're going to do the same at FinCon. We're going to get some listener user content for you guys.
It'll be so fun.
I love you guys' stories.
I do. Me too. And, if you're afraid to call in or you don't think that your opinion matters, I'm going to say you're 100% wrong, because it's both of our favorite parts of the show is when you participate to make the show.
Yeah. Don't cheat us.
Yeah. Call us. And the number of conversations I've had offline where I'm like, you got to call in. The person's like, yeah, I will. And then they don't.
Nope.
Is frustrating because, and not for me, it's frustrating because I think that it's a really cool story that the world needs to hear. I agree.
Yep. And then sometimes we do that one episode, we read the ones from Facebook because we're like, okay, no one is calling. Let's just go to our socials and then just hear what you say, what you heard, or share what you guys shared on here. So that was fun
definitely.
Too.
In our new and getting rolling clubhouse, the Stacking Adventures Clubhouse on Facebook, come join us there and share stories. because we are just a small band of sisters and brothers over there. It is, some weeks there's a great discussion and some weeks there's crickets, but as we get it rolling, it becomes more and more and more fun. And I've gotten some great tips there.
Yes.
Before I do my number 3, let's send the music up right now.
Oh, already.
Because we're exactly halfway, Crystal. And halfway point of any trip, you stop and take a pit stop, right, on the road trip. And if you're new to Stacking Adventures, we have our road trip pit stop here too. We're always dreaming about the second half of the adventure and how cool it's going to be when we get there. Of course, we know that on Stacking Adventures, it's the journey, not getting the show over that's fun. Our pit stop is always a hint at our gear of the day. This is gear that either we have used or that our adventure friends have tried. So it's all play tested. You get the right gear immediately instead of some horrible thing. You know, they're doing this pillow. Have you seen this pillow? I just want to.
The Elephant Man?
No, they have a pillow now. I like the idea of the pillow that I put in our Facebook community, the one that straps to your headrest and it has like eye coverings and your head stays up against the headrest because it basically takes the idea of like these glasses, makes them black out. And then instead of going around your head, it goes all the way around the headrest and then your head doesn't do the bob thing. I like that. There's another one that I've seen marketed a lot lately where you open up your tray table and it's this cushion that attaches, Crystal, to your tray table and you put your head down in it. And it's like one of those massage table headrests.
Oh, the face. Yeah, with the face cut out or something.
But it looks freaking huge.
Yeah.
So
I'm not carrying that.
Yeah, it looks like I see people with those big, huge pillows. You've carried the big, huge pillow on the planes before. I see people and I'm like, I can't carry something that big on the plane. So I don't know. If somebody's used this pillow that I've seen, the massage table pillow that attaches to your tray table. We also had on a long flight back from Asia, I had a woman do that cube. There's a cube that you can blow up and it goes where your feet go. And then you put your feet up on the cube and then you kind of become like this little ball.
Oh, fetal position kind of?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, she had that. I'll tell you what, if you're on the aisle seat and you're using that with me when I'm on the window and I got to get past you and you get annoyed that you got to pick up your stupid cube.
That's a hazard too, because if you need to get off the plane.
Oh, the cube drove me crazy.
It's got to be banned. Well, it is funny because I saw, now we're talking about weird stuff. They have these pop-up like clear like dividers that you can put on your seat.
Between you and the next person?
Yeah, on either side of you. I saw that yesterday.
Lord.
And I was like, what are they doing? But another smart thing I saw, the bookstore.
How am I going to sleep on the guy next to me's shoulder if we do that?
How are you going to sneeze and cough on them too? That's a whole nother. I think because they were clear and see-through too.
I love
Very
doing
strange.
that. Cough like on the damn Rona. No, it's horrible.
Oh my goodness. You're trying to get escorted off. But the bookstores, they have a borrow policy now. So when you return a book that you bought at another airport, you get half of your money back.
What?
So you can keep it going. That's new. So
that's
I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw it in passing. But
so get a book at one airport, get off the plane and hand it in.
Yeah, and get half your money back and then start it over again.
Wow, then I don't have to pack anything.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I just got a speed read.
Right, that part. You got to finish the book. All right.
Anyway, our pit stop is always, sorry to derail everybody.
Totally
our pit stop's always a hint at our gear of the day. You can see past gears of the day at stackingadventures.com/GOTD or gear of the day. Crystal's got the hint today. What do you got?
Okay, so it's small enough to pack, but it's mighty enough to save your trip. And this is also something that you hope you'll never need it, but you're so glad you have it. It makes you look like a really prepared adventurer that everybody wants to travel with. It's not paparazzi.
I think. Okay, I have a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to guess after the break. Crystal at the
Okay.
end of the show is going to give us whether I'm right or wrong, and we'll be right back. All right. It sounds like I'm really cool. You're saying I'm really cool.
Well, not
if
you
I have this
specific, but yeah. If
yes.
You have it.
But if you have this
the
thing.
allure, well, you're going to be like, oh man, yeah. They think of everything. He or she thinks of everything. I want to travel.
I think it's a very lightweight raincoat, like a rain poncho. I think that's what it is. That's the thing that I've wished that I've had. Wow. That's the thing that I go into some junk shop and I buy when it's pouring rain and I don't want to stop. And they always overcharge by a ton of money.
They're
when
like,
you do that at a place.
We love it when it rains.
This was cool, by the way. It started raining when we were hiking in Nepal. So we're hiking on this trek near Annapurna, and we're on like day 4 of 5 hiking up to this top viewpoint that we're going to, and it starts raining. And everybody takes out these Columbia rain gear, Patagonia rain gear. I bring out my Disney theme park rain gear because you pay so much for this thing at Disney. And I'm like, I'm not wearing this once and throwing it away. So I kept it in the back of my closet. And there were people, we were at, they have these little, very rustic restaurants as you go. It's weird you're hiking in Nepal and there's a restaurant that's only accessible from the trail. But we're at this restaurant and everybody, these hikers from around the world are laughing at my gear because I've got Mickey Mouse on my back. And they're like, Joe, you're such... Yeah, and the people in our group are like, Joe, you're such a Disney fan. You got to bring it. I'm like, no, this isn't because I'm a Disney fan. This is because Disney was trying to rip me off, and I'm going to make sure that it was worth the money by bringing it to Nepal. So I did get to wear it again. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, but I think it's a raincoat, and we'll find out from Crystal if it is a raincoat. But that's something I always wish that I have. All right, my number 3, as we get back to our top 5, my number 3, let me see what I've got here. Oh, I love this one. We often think that we got to spend a lot of money. We got to go someplace way, way, way far away to get our adventure on. And you know what we learned this year a lot was that you don't have to do that at all. That so many adventures are in your backyard. I absolutely loved. I'm going to point to 2 instances of this, but we had a bunch of them. When Rolando was with us talking about roadside attractions. And there's this you can go into your city and around your city, and you could just go look for these old signs and take pictures with them and have fun with them. There's a friend of mine named Todd, who is a great photographer, and he goes around the South taking pictures of these wonderful cowboys that are neon lit up, or some of the boots that are signs that are boots, just some iconic signs. And I don't know, Rolando and the roadside attractions just made me remember that some of the most fun I've had was at a stupid underground lake in Tennessee.
Oh, that's neat. I like that show too. And because there were even some local gems, like literally not even a mile from my house on there. And I was like, oh, I made the book.
It's funny, when we first lived in the Detroit area, our kids were growing up, so I was so busy all the time. I didn't have time to get into my backyard. But when I moved back there for a couple of years to help Cheryl take care of her mom, we tried to see all the things Detroit offers. And we're like, why did we live here for as long as we did and we never looked at all the cool stuff? So staycation can be really, really cool. The other thing is, you probably have a national park somewhere close to you. And, people point to the one that's just under 2 hours from our house, Hot Springs. And you always see it on the list of, quote, the worst national parks. It's a ton of fun. It's a I love being that close. When we were in Michigan, we went to Indiana Dunes, which is right outside of Michigan City in Gary, Indiana. And it is. I'm not sure. I get why it's a national park. It is not what you think of when you think of like Yellowstone and some of the big national parks.
Yeah. Because we used to go for camp. Yeah, that would be our big end of camp trip sometimes. And it was more just going to the amusement park that's there, not necessarily like all the other parts.
if you
the sand
appreciate it for
dunes.
what it is, Indiana Dunes is really cool instead
That's a
of what
good
you
one.
hope that it is. So anyway, I think the idea of adventures in your backyard, there were so many, but Rolando Pujols and Libby Gifford talking about national parks. If they're close to you, that's great. Obviously, national parks you can go visit way far away from you, but man, if you got one close, just go.
And even to add the amusement parks, the theme parks to that too, because I
Good
love
point.
being a tourist in my city. Like I've been in the DC area now for, wow, it'll be 19 years this month, September. And I love my 20,000 steps challenges. Like I get either on the water taxi or on foot or on the train, on the metro, and I go and I get steps. Like that was one of my best birthday presents. I had over 20,000 steps on my birthday.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
And not many of them drunken steps either.
Exactly. Yep. Yes.
You know, on the theme parks, I totally forgot about that. The regional theme park can be super fun. Next year, I told my sister I want to take my nieces and nephews. I don't get to see that much, and I try to do a trip with just one or two of them at a time. And Robert Niles, who you and I interviewed this year for Stacking Adventures Theme Park Insider, always talks about this theme park in southern Indiana called Holiday World. And I told my sister, I'm like, let's take my nephew Holden, you and I, to Holiday World, because her family, Crystal, none of them like theme parks. Cheryl does not like theme parks, but my sister and I do. So we're going to go, and we're going to take my nephew, I think, to Holiday World, just because every time I interview Robert Niles, he goes on and on and on about this place in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Can't wait to hear you talk about it. All right. So my number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so this theme is about the outdoors too, but the episodes when we talked about the El Camino Santiago we talked to Tom with that one, right? And then Darrow, the Colorado Trail, and then with David Miller and the Tour du Mont Blanc. So those 3 episodes were like I want to do this. Like I want to plan a hiking trip.
Speaking of steps.
Yeah. Speaking of steps, so I want to do it's not a working, but it's a hiking kind of trip. Because even ended up watching that movie, The Way, after the El Camino episode, and I liked how Tom said, because we were like, okay, what if you need this? What if you need that? And he's like, there's a phrase that the Camino provides. It's like whatever you need, it appears, at the next rest stop or the next town or the next little shop that pops up on the trail. So that would be something really cool. And if I don't make it over there to Spain, I could do the Colorado Trail, which is also in our backyard.
You're truly not that far from the Appalachian Trail. You could just do the Appalachian Trail closer to the East Coast. You and I may be hiking little pieces of that. We're planning a trip for 2026 that we'll talk about with David, who was on the show. Mine is so much different than yours. It's so funny how we're on completely different paths here with our number 2. Mine says all the hiking themes: Tom walking the Camino, Darrow to David.
That is hilarious.
It is wild how we're completely in sync on our number 2.
That is funny.
But I'm with you. Some of my favorite trips, some of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things, travels ever. 2 of my favorite travels ever: hiking in Glacier National Park. There's a trail, Crystal, that if you get out there, I'm going to have you do. It's called the Grinnell Glacier Hike. It is so amazing. And then that Nepal hike that I talked about earlier. Just these hikes are not expensive, and you get this spiritual adventure. I'd love to do the Camino as well.
Me too.
Because, and by the way, that movie that Crystal mentioned, The Way, starring Martin Sheen, if you don't know what we're talking about, watch this movie. It's a little cheesy, it's a little hokey, but it really has a great message.
I agree. It was a good movie. Look
All
at
right.
us. We had the same thing.
It was so
and
wild.
Also, that was Darrow's. His gear was one of my favorites because it was the mini stove / cup / everything that you carry.
Well, I liked his water purifier, because my water purifier is huge and it's really good, but it's heavy. And his is just a couple little drops. I mean, it was a little tiny packet.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
All right. time
Drum
for,
roll.
do we have a drum roll? Your number one.
Okay. So this one, it was about the wine stuff, the wine tours.
Oh,
So
with
we
Kylie.
had Kylie, and because she led me to my dream job in retirement. She lives on one of the properties where they do the wine tours. And I'm like, that's immediately could picture clearly a Crystal, an older version of Crystal doing the same thing, leading the wine tours in my little, I only need a bed. I live in a studio, so I can even downgrade further. I just need the wine and a bed, and hey, I'm sold. So that's the episode that we did. It was which one was it? The wine tours, the Chili's wine trails.
Yes.
And of course, the honorable mention, the sipping our way through New Orleans, because those two with Sharon and Christy Summage Keating and Keating Summage, they talked about the women storming of the Sazerac that happens once a year in New Orleans in September.
Where so it was like, an all-men's club and they stormed it.
The women stormed the men. So that sounds like a lot of fun. That's also, so those two things are also from the wine and the drinking episode.
Kylie, I'll tell you what, I mean, she was great on our show. Crystal, the more time you'd spend with Kylie, the more fun you'd have.
Nice.
Spending the day with Kylie as she took us from winery to winery. And I was so happy she was able to come on the show because I want to go back. And it's funny because Cheryl was talking about going to Patagonia way at the south end. And you can go then to southern Chile. And she's like, and you know what? We should fly up to Santiago. We should do another trip with Kylie.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody who doesn't like to do the same thing twice, it's my spouse. I like doing the same thing twice.
I don't.
If I were left to my own device, you're much more like Cheryl, where you're like, been there, done that.
I would love to go somewhere new. Yes. Like, let's see something else.
Yeah. I like a mix of the two. I like going, I'm running my last marathon the first week of January at Disney. And when I step foot in Epcot, it just is this warm blanket. I'm like, I'm back at the place that I like. It's super fun. My number one was actually our first episode of the show. And that was when we talked to our friend, Mom's neighbor, Doug, about his trip to Scotland. And that wasn't why I liked it. The reason that I really liked it and the reason that it's my number one is because of the fact that you and I have been doing this real estate show, which was a really good show. And we enjoyed talking to the guest. We enjoyed the discussions that we had. But I truly am not passionate about real estate. Our mutual friend, Alan Corey, talked us Alan talked me into it. And then I said, there's this woman I've wanted to work with for a long time, Crystal Hammond. And
nice.
Let's see if Crystal will do it. So I assaulted Crystal at FinCon.
You bought me free lunch. I was like, yes, you could talk to me for free lunch.
I was like, hey, Crystal, you don't know me that much. Sure? And she's like, all right, what the heck?
Are you sure you're talking to me?
Crystal's like, you'd be mistaken with somebody else. I'm like, no, I've always wanted to work with you. And it'd be super fun. You had been on Stacking Benjamins once a long time ago, like a long, long time before. And we had just had some casual conversations since then. And I'm like, I don't know. She seems like that'd be fun. But, it's funny when you do stuff and you see this over time that there are people who do stuff for money that they absolutely hate. And there are things that you do. And I just remember on that first episode just thinking, I'm so freaking glad we pivoted.
Yeah.
Because this travel stuff, man, this first year of doing travel stuff, but I knew it right away. I'm like, this is something I just jumping on the microphone to do this hour right now is so damn fun.
Agreed. And this is also a lesson in pivoting too, because that takes bravery too, to just be like, you know what, we're done with that. Let's do something more fun, or let's do this other thing. A lot of people are scared to do it. So thank you guys who have been along for the ride from the deeds to now adventures. Thank you.
But it clearly, and I was so thankful the way, and you guys didn't see behind the scenes, but when I'm like, you know what, let's not do this anymore. Let's do travel instead, which to me seemed like way out of the blue. And Crystal was like, yeah, cool. Sounds great.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And you were like, I like travel better too. Yeah. So getting to work with one of my favorite people, Crystal Hammond, on one of my favorite topics, travel this year. So that's why the first episode, because I don't know about you, Crystal, but I just knew it. The first episode, I was like, this is so much better.
Yeah. And I missed Neighbor Doug. Hey, Neighbor Doug, if you're out there, that was
I
fun.
don't miss Neighbor Doug, but I still get to work with him, pinch me 3 days a week.
Yay. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Lucky him.
It's so funny.
That's great.
Well, that's it. We did
that was it. That was our number ones. Yeah, there's nothing left on my list except
what a great year.
So the only thing left is our gear
of the day,
our thank yous.
Let's bring the music up. So your gear of the day, Crystal, was
prepared. You'll look so prepared. It weighs almost nothing, but can carry you through anything. You hope you don't need it, but you'll be so glad that you have it.
See, I was thinking sometimes we packed a duffel bag that goes with us, and then instead of that big suitcase that I talked about to Greece, we'll pack a duffel bag, and we're like, and you can carry the duffel bag instead, or like a little mini backpack or whatever that you take around. But I'm going with that raincoat idea.
Okay, and you are wrong. It's a first aid kit.
Oh,
get a little first aid kit.
Yours has a heart on it.
Yeah, and I love hearts. Just because, and you can even just do it in a Ziploc bag too, because Band-Aids for blisters have saved so many feet. Even just having like a Neosporin kind of a deal, or even especially for, some of the food-based things, Alka-Seltzer or the Imodium sometimes, like just have your things that you're not allergic to. The travel size versions of those work really great. And that's just something that you'll have it when you need it. First aid kit.
First aid kit.
Boom.
It is funny because we are hit and miss on the first aid kit. And thank goodness when we didn't have it, we didn't need it. But there have been 2 times when we needed it, and to have that right there. Great idea. Great tip.
Because even it has sometimes a nail file. Women, or even men, though, it can happen too. If you snag a nail or whatever, or you need to tweeze splinters, don't get me started on splinters, just anything. It's just those little things that just that can really make an inconvenience when you need to take out time to scramble and look for those items.
Nothing worse on any trip, and I've done it several times, than having to, if you're in the U.S., hit up a CVS, or if you're abroad trying to hit up one of those pharmacies.
Pharmacia.
Yeah, just, you're taking time that you could be having fun. Instead, you're dealing with something that if you just had little
annoying crisis too. And sometimes it's just a minor
And that one, the one you have in your hand is small, but the one you travel with could be even smaller than the one that you've got right there.
Mini Ziploc bag. Yep. It all fits.
Yeah. Great idea. Well, guess what?
Thanks.
Adventures, you're going to find that added to our gear of the day.
Head to StackingAdventures/GOTD to get your hands on our list.
You said it's time for thank yous. I think we have to thank our adventures that went on this journey with us.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your adventures with us, because I've learned so much. Like, I feel like people are going to be paying me just to travel with them. Hence, if you'd like to pay me to travel with you, please do so. Just because of the preparedness and the think of it. But I am and you get to learn your travel style, because I would totally love to be the person that shows up and hands the money and say, all right, I'm ready, and did zero planning like I just want to show up and tag along.
That's great.
But then, of course, insert my input and my feedback and my complaints after not planning anything.
But if I can complain and not plan,
that's how it works. Exactly.
That would be great.
That's how it works.
All right. What were your favorite moments from this first year? We are doing very soon a potpourri episode where we dive into your favorites. So send those along. How do people send theirs?
Head to stackingadventures.com/mystory, and because we want to hear from you. So please, it gives you 5 minutes to talk. So we want to hear you talk for 20 minutes. So do it 4 times. Tell us all of it. We want to hear it all.
Our next Our next episode featuring you is coming up next week, but because of our travel schedule, you'll miss that one, but you'll be on the very next one, which is coming up very, very soon. So excited to hear your voice.
Excited.
All right.
Be long-winded.
Thank you for spending the year with us. She's Crystal.
And I'm Joe.
Let's get adventuring.